my delicious co-creators. Lilu here on the Juicy Living Tour in the beautiful island of Maui with Raphael. Actually, this is Kotira's wife. You just saw the interview maybe with her in their beautiful home temple. And now we're at the bamboo temple, this beautiful bamboo structure that you have co-created, totally co-created, haven't you?
What we're sitting in is the United States of America's first legal bamboo structure. About 15, I guess 18 years ago, we started Bamboo Technologies, which teaches affordable and sustainable buildings. And now we're all over the world, Haiti, and I can't keep track now. And
so we're sitting in this beautiful honeymoon suite, and you're doing this and co-creating this with your loved one, your beloved, that you met many years ago, and you have made your dream come true.
Yes, many dreams. It keeps going on.
I heard that you studied with Osho. Did you study with Osho as well?
Yes.
Many years
yes.
ago? And you're very much into the sound healing. So this video is more particularly towards, you have many things to share, but let's talk about sound healing. What is the power of sound? What does sound create? What kind of sound are we talking about here?
First of all, you have to understand sound is the most substantial thing we know of in the universe. All creation begins with sound. You may have a vision of something, but the creation of it begins with sound. This building is here because someone had a sound in their head saying, let's build a building here. I think all religions talk about the universe beginning with sound, like the word, or let there be light, or in Hindu religion, it's the world began with a song. Or in Buddhist religion, it becomes like one note with overtones. And those little overtones are notes into themselves, and they have their overtones, and it goes like that. So sound is very substantial. When you're talking about sound, you're talking about substance. And it's really interesting to note what sound carries. Like, for example, if I had a recording of His Holiness the Dalai Lama meditating, I could play that recording here, and you wouldn't hear anything except maybe a shh at best. But I could play that recording in this room, and this room would change. That macrocosm that he's in is very contagious. And conversely, if I had a recording of paranoid, schizophrenic, homicidal, maniac prison where everybody's sleeping, I could record that, and you wouldn't hear anything except maybe a shh. I could play that in this room, and we'd all be having some strange thoughts. So sound does carry. A fun thing is that sound carries smell. Sometimes I'm talking to people on the phone. I say, oh, that's nice perfume you're wearing there. Oh, how'd you know? And it carries many other things. The real fascinating thing about sound in music is the studies they've been doing with the HeartMath Institute and Berkeley School of Medicine. What they do is they'll take a bunch of people, measure the strength of their immune system, then play music for them in recording, and then immediately after measure the strength of their immune system to see what the music did to the chemicals of their body. And what they discovered, to make a long story short, is it's not so much the form of the music that does the healing. It's the state that the musician is in while making the music that does the healing. It's still a young science, but the discoveries are getting to be pretty fantastic.
So let's talk about that state. Which state are you in when you're creating music? How do you go there? How can we apply this in our life? Because obviously we've heard that also for food it's the same thing. If the food is prepared with love and at a certain frequency, then we can taste it. It tastes so much better. If a home like this is built from love and pioneering something new, and this refreshing, energy is infused in every single little piece of bamboo, then it'll feel so much greater to be inside and living inside. So how do you get to this in this space when you're creating music?
Oh, that's a big question. First of all, many times I'm in an ecstatic state of love. But what really helps is Deepak Chopra talks about macrocosm and microcosm. Microcosm is a world of 10,000 things, and macrocosm, I'm free, I'm nothing. Or as Edgar Cayce calls it, I am no thing. I'm just presence. And from there, when you're in macrocosm, there's no limits. You want to talk to your grandmother in spirit world, no problem. You want to time travel, no problem. There are no limits. So I have a very quick and easy way of getting there. I can get there pretty instantly. And from there, I ask where I want to go in music, and then I fly. For example, I've done, for the last 30 years, thousands of psychic readings set to music. If you were a piece of music, this is how you sound. So and I've done it in concerts in front of people and so forth. And some people are rock and roll, some people are Beethoven symphony, you never know what you get. But the first thing I'll do as the American Indian say, stop the world. And then instead of coming back into my body, I'll come back into this person's body. And all of a sudden, I'm this person. And then I'm seeing myself in the mirror as this person. I ask if this person was a flower, what kind of flower? And now you take what you get. Now I'm in tune with this person. This person was an animal, what kind of an animal would this person be? Now I'm really in tune with this person. Then I ask if this person was a piece of music, what would the music sound like? I listen, I play. So it's usually, I'm inspired by love. And that's where the music comes from.
Connecting to the essence
of something or someone.
And then out of that, a melody emerges naturally. Do you hear it? Do you write it? How does it feel?
The golden rule is you take what you get. It may be, I'll show you what I meant. I was at Esalen Institute. I was playing a concert, and all the big psychics were there. Gabriel Roth, Ann Armstrong, the Prices, everybody was there, Silverman's. And I did Milton Traeger's portrait. He was a big healer in those days. And what I got, and I usually compose something, but when I did his portrait, what I got was 76 trombones from that Broadway play. What to do? So I played it, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, real old corny song. And I played it for all it's worth. And I finished, and I turned around, and I was doing a psychic reading on him in front of these big psychics. So, you know. So I did it. I turned around, and they're kind of looking at me. Yeah, right. And old Milton Traeger comes up. He puts his arm around me, and he says, I want you to know that the first person I ever massaged was the composer of that song, and that's been my theme song. Saved my ass. So you really have to take what you get. You have to jump off a cliff.
You got to trust.
And be willing, like I was in front of those great psychics, to make a fool of yourself sometimes.
Yeah, that's such a great lesson, because we all have those leaps. It feels more and more to do all the time, and stepping in the unknown, stepping in this place where it doesn't make sense on a logical level sometimes.
You have to come with an attitude of service.
Yeah.
That's another golden rule. If I'm an artist and I'm concerned about what can I give, boring. But how can I serve?
Yeah.
One of my heroes is Johann Sebastian Bach. Now, he said in his 20s, the sole purpose of music is none other than the glorification of God. And being a typical German, he stayed right there. So his music became like God. That does not change. It became eternal. Now everybody plays Bach. Diana Ross and the Supremes, Japanese koto players, flamenco guitars. I mean, it became universal with this attitude of service.
You were telling me the other day as we were hanging out that you had those Wales journey and some fantastic things that are really out of the ordinary for most people, but you really seem to dive into this the imaginary and the non-physical and the etherical and all of that, and just trust it and go with that. Tell us about that world that you go into when you create, because I guess this is big part of your creations.
Yes, that is my talent. My talent is not so much coming from earth to heaven, it's coming from heaven to earth. You know, planet Earth calling Raphael, please come down. So I married a good Swiss wife who got me down there.
Yeah.
Whales and dolphins. First of all, have you ever noticed that when you're in the ocean, how meditative it is? You know, scuba diver teachers have to tell you, stay here, but you tend to want to go into a lucid dreaming. Well, that's where whales and dolphins are all the time. That's their domain. So their ability to go into lucid dreaming is, I would say, far superior to ours. And my God, who has the biggest brains on the planet? Who can communicate 2,000 miles away easily? Live, awake, sentient beings like you and me. And of course, many traditions, especially the Aborigines, have communicated with the whales in dream time. And I tend to stay away from the dolphins. They're very fast. They're like Mercury. But the whales will slow down with you. And once again, it's you stop the world. And then I start tuning into whales. And then things happen. And there are many stories. If you want to hear one, I could do that. But there's just...
But they show you. You have a relationship. You connect there on a soul-to-soul level.
They're willing to be with us. As a matter of fact, they've shown me harmonies that you'll hear nowhere else in the world. In my album, Angels of the Deep, you'll hear harmonies that you'll hear nowhere else that they gave me. And I get good royalty checks from that. Made a little money from them.
But you were willing to go there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's once again, it's not that hard. It's just that you have to be willing to jump off the cliff. You stop the world. Then you start thinking about whales. And sometimes I'll imagine I'm a whale. Then all of a sudden I'm experiencing what the whale... You see, Buddha describes it like who I am as an onion. It's like you let off this one onion peel, I'm not my body. I'm not the thoughts about myself. I'm not my emotions. And it goes on and on and on until the last onion peel. I am nothing. And it's not a graveyard nothing. It's this beautiful, beyond words, nothingness. And once I really got it, experienced it, I realized I can be anywhere, anytime in this universe because I don't take up space. So yes, I can be inside a whale's body. And when I was in a whale's body, I saw the organs, which were like jewels. Like the heart was fuchsia, the lungs were white, the kidneys were light blue, and a dark green liver, and the undulations, very ecstatic, and they're very sensual. Oh, I'll tell you one little thing. I have no understanding of jealousy. My wife and I are like diamond hard and fine. But the only time I got jealous, I finally got to experience emotion. It was when Katira was swimming with dolphins. And they have voluntary erections. And that dolphin grabbed my wife's leg and was swimming around me. And that, there are limits, you know. So they're willing to be with us. Very easy.
Yes.
It's not complicated. And they're willing to be scientific with us even.
And the good news is that wherever we are, we don't have to really be in Hawaii to be with them.
That is correct. That is, my wife even made a beautiful meditation CDs where she puts you in macrocosm, and then you communicate with whales and dolphins, and they give you a gift. And boy, the letters we get from that. So it's that easy. We, in our scientific culture, we tend to think of intuition as being, weird or Twilight Zone or something. That's right. But it's the exact opposite. It's natural. And what's the greatest food for intuition? Love.
Love. So tell us about the heart. Tell us what happens there. Is the music coming from there? What's the role of the heart in all this? I know those are big ones.
The heart. It was like the Bible says, God resides within the heart of all mankind. In the heart is all knowledge, past, present, future. All, it's infinite. Now, when you deal with the heart, you're dealing with love. And what is love? Love is a recognition that you and I are the same being. There's only one person here. There's only one person having this conversation. At the very least, you have to admit that love does tend to go towards unity. And so with love, I'm not just this walking plant on the earth. I'm all of a sudden, I'm you. I'm this building. And then it goes on like that. You tend to expand to something greater. And so that's a subject that I'm humbled by, especially with words. I think the first thing anybody's going to tell you about the heart is words fail. But
there's certain harmonics that you were telling me about regarding...
Oh, yes, that's from a scientific point of view. In the art of music healing, you'll notice that the bass and drums move the pelvis. And down here in the pelvis is where the power of God is expressed. Now, up here in the heart is where the love of God is expressed. And what moves the heart is harmonies. Now, harmonies has to do with relationship between notes. You'll notice that the heart has a lot to do with relationships. Now, you go up here, this is the instinct that is, this is where the clarity of God is expressed. And the part of music that moves that part of our being is melodies and words that gives the mind something to ride with. And like down here's Africa, South America. I got the power, boom, 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 boom. Here is the heart. We get to the Mediterranean. We get to Tibetan monasteries. We get to very romantica, Mexico. And they show me a Mexican song that doesn't have corazon heart in it. Then up here is Russian scientists and German scientists and English scientists. Now I understand everything. Now to heal is to make whole. So it has been mine and many musicians' desire to make music that moves the whole thing at the same time. And lately, what I've been doing is I'll have like Ola Tunji, big serious drums happening. I'll have my rich harmonies here. I'll have beautiful melodies here, but now I'll add the seventh chakra, the macrocosm, at the same time. And that's really fun because when I do that, when I'm conducting the choir, when you add this part of the being to it, music, like I heard one choir lady said, well, I was singing, but I was floating above my head, watching myself sing, and things like that happen. Miracles happen. Yeah. I think Marianne Williams talks about two ways of doing miracles. One is the power of the mind, which do not underestimate that. But the other way to do miracles is when you're totally in line with God's love. And that's what happens when my choir and I have the whole shebang vibrating at the same time. And the thing about that is you never know what miracle is going to happen. But that sort of makes it fun too. I mean, I even have a photograph I'd have to dig up where you'll see a ball of light where Dr. John Lilly came from the spirit world and he started dancing around me when we were singing. So when you open up the whole thing, then miracles happen.
So music really can open those chakras and can allow us to be in alignment and clear some things that need to be clear so that we're pure and more authentic and more aligned. I mean, it could be really instantaneous from what I'm hearing. Oh
yes, definitely instantaneous. Definitely.
So we become channels.
Yes, we are channels really. Yeah. All the time of something.
Yeah. Beautiful. And I'm so happy that we get to spend this time together. I know you have also this little thing from the heart where you can read the heart. I have this little experience, so I'd like to... Yeah?
Basically, it started out as a little silly game, but then it started getting, basically, I put my hands on a person's heart. And first of all, what's happening is flesh to flesh. That's like touching God. That's like we're honored. Then I allow, like in Star Wars, allow your awareness to expand. I start feeling the heart. And basically the heart, the element that goes with the heart to me is water. If you all of a sudden imagine your entire body being water, then you'll center around the heart. And so I start feeling the heart. Then what I do is I say hello to the heart. And then I listen for the heart to say hello back. But you have to take what you get. Then I ask, what feelings or, no, what attitude or state of mind do I feel in this heart? You take what you get. What emotions do I feel coming from this heart? You take what you get. Then I go into what pictures from the past do I see coming from this heart? Take what you get. And then I ask, what pictures from the future do I see coming from this heart? And you take what you get. And I've been doing it, gosh, for maybe 30 years. And it's... but you have to be the best. I taught it to some 6-year-olds. They were great at it, you know, because they have been told they can't do that, you know. But you do have to, when you get in that space, have to be like, you have to be like a 6-year-old and not worry about the results. And once again, being willing to make a fool of yourself. Yeah. But that's never been a problem of mine.
Me either. Let's go there. Let's go there.
Well,
where do we start from?
It'll take about maybe 2 minutes of silence, and then I'll see where we go. Let me recuperate. A lot of times when I go into a person's heart, sometimes I'll just be overpowered with love. I mean, that's a natural thing for the heart. So it's like getting like a tsunami coming at you. And what I learned to do is, okay, thank you. Let me go deeper. And then another tsunami. So it's kind of like that. Okay, what I got. It's kind of archetypal. A lot of, when the Lady of Fatima, when the Immaculate Conception appeared to those little shepherd girls back in the early part of the century, they described her face as smiling, but with a seriousness to it. And I've heard that term other times when seeing the Mother Goddess, or that archetype. So it's joy, but there's a little seriousness to it. And that's what I got from you. It's like you are definitely spreading joy, and you're definitely spreading blessings. And but your soul came here with a mission. I mean, your soul came here with a very serious mission. I mean, it was real. You are not
it's
here.
Serious, yeah.
But I mean,
this is not the juicy tour.
But you're not here to fool around. You are on a mission. Yeah. And so at the same time, it's joy, but it's like you really came here to serve. Yeah. And then I saw your love of your boyfriend. I'm not, we're on TV here, but anyway, that was beautiful, very passionate. Let's see, let me look here. Yeah. I'll go into that later. Some things are a little private. But anyway, the other thing is... because your soul knows that this planet is going to be going through some uncomfortable changes. And so there is a time thing. There is a thing. You have a lot of go for this. And looks like, well, we're in 2011, but things could be a little heavy around late this year for the world. And you'll still be doing that. You are going to have to spend some time alone. Like the thing of it is, and that's very archetypal too, it's like when you do big things, it's also that you're going to have to sometimes be very small. In martial arts, when a person prepares, he will become very small and then become very big. So you will have to sometimes be alone.
I like that. I love that too,
Your soul is wanting that too, and will need it, meeting requirement for survival. So you will, at times, have to be alone in the future. That's it. But it was a beautiful journey, thank you.
So you just go into the heart. How does it?
I first of all feel your flesh, then I listen to the heart. I say hello, and that's when I got the hi coming in. Well, all right, yeah, I got it. Then I looked at attitude, what attitude or state of mind you're in, and then I saw that devotion. Yeah. I mean, you did make some agreements before you came here, and I don't want to say warrior, but it is like that, like a determined action. Yeah. And I love your childhood. And your future was that you're going to be assisting in, it's going to be more and more apparent that what you're doing is important. Almost it'd be interesting after a while to take all the best teachings that you've got through all these interviews and compress them as to a gift to the world. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, there's going to be some times when you are going to have to be alone, too. Mm. And so then I ask feelings, emotions. Then I ask the past, nice childhood, then the future. That's what I saw. But it's that simple. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take much of anything else to do.
Beautiful. Is there something that you would like to communicate to people watching and that you feel is important right now to hear? To close this little encounter, this big encounter?
Well, we're talking, there's a lot of healing needed on this planet. Now, the first rule of healing is to make the darkness visible. Mm-hmm. Bring it to the light. Bring it all the way to the light of Christ. Like when you go to a doctor, the first thing the doctor wants to know is, where does it hurt? Then you can bring it to the light. Then you can add the love and intelligence. And I'm going to offer my own observation, and I'm not saying it's gospel. My own observation is if you can get to the root of an ego or get to the root of the darkness, then you don't have to deal with 1,000 branches. Now, Buddha said the root of evil is ignorance. But I ask, what's holding the ignorance together? And my own journey is that the root of evil is a golden calf and scapegoat. In other words, I am or we are superior, and we don't want to look at our own darkness, so we'll project it on a scapegoat. The most obvious is Hitler's superior race, and we'd be happy with if it wasn't for the Jews. And so you see the history of mankind following all these leaders telling that we're the superior, so forth, and we'd be happy if it wasn't for them. Or in your own individual life, I'm a spiritual person, but I'd be happy if it wasn't for him. So it appears to me that one of the deepest healings that we can give to ourselves and the planet is actively let go of the golden calves. Let go of the superior race. Let go of the superior religion. Let go of the superior form of government. Mm-hmm. And then it will be easier for us because there's no more room for us and them. It's all of us or else. Mm-hmm. So if I was talking to the world, as you asked, I would say, consciously let go of the golden calves. Let go of the superior religions. Let go of the superior race. Let go of the superior forms of government. There's just no time for us and them. It's all of us or else.
Would you say it's let go also of a superior God?
Let go of the superior concept of God.
Yes. Thank you, Raphael.
I'm honored to be here.
Much love, my beautiful co-creators from beautiful Maui. I'm going to show you the magnificent view here. This is absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't seen the video, also we did a whole tour of this beautiful Maui retreat here north of Maui. So you're welcome to check that video out, even come here. This is really peaceful and beautiful. Thank you for this stay here, and thank you for bringing your dreams into this reality and to share it with us.
Thank you.
Much aloha.